Hey Illiana, it's good to see you again. We're in our third video, kind of introducing our new vision and a little bit of a review from the previous ones. The first video, we really introduced the vision statement, Illiana Christian, developing a passion for God, people, and the world. And our second one, we talked about what that meant to develop a passion for God and how we were going to do that over the next 5 years. And today we're going to talk about the second part of developing a passion for people. And the greatest commandment God gives us is to love God with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our strength. The second is to love our neighbors as ourselves. And that's what this one is about. It's about loving people. It's about having a passion. It's about valuing people. And everything you see, even in our world today, you see not enough people valuing each other as God's kids. And we need to get back to that in our school as well. Most kids, when they graduate high school, don't judge the school experience based on the education. They judge it based on the relationships. They judge it based on how they grew as people and how they maybe didn't grow as a person, how they maybe got bullied, how they were encouraged. All those things that kind of define the high school experience. And over the years, sometimes if you get so focused on education, you miss that part. And I think in Illiana, we've done a good job, but we want to do a better job. We want to take care of that heart and soul and mind of each and every student that walks in. So for the next 5 years, we're putting a new focus on having a passion for people, to love each other as ourselves, to love people as God loves us, and to value people, and to add value to our students and each other instead of taking it away. So we're going to look at that a few different ways. The first thing is we're going to do is we're really going to try and grow our student services department. That the idea that every kid has the ability to have a Christian education. And that's what we want for all of our kids. So that program has grown a lot over the last couple of years. We want to grow it even more. And so we want, the next 5 years, add a few teachers, add some space, so we can really pour into those kids that add so much blessing and joy to God's kingdom, as well as our school community. The second thing we want to do is have a passion for missions, both locally, regionally, and globally. One of the pathways of a Core 40 diploma, which is what Illiana has to do for the state of Indiana, is service requirements. We're going to take it to another level. We want our kids to have that DNA of what Christians should have, and that is to serve. So we're going to set up a requirement that over the course of 4 years, students have to have a certain amount of service hours. And that could be something very local. We want to do local. We want to serve in the local community, in the local soup kitchens. But we also want to serve regionally. And then for some kids, they can maybe even go globally. And the idea is to love people, to serve people, to show the love of God to the entire world. Another thing we want to do is kind of increase our marketing approach to how we do this, so people hear the stories. I've been doing this for 21 years, and there are so many stories of how Illiana Christian has literally helped save the life of kids, given them a little bit of hope when things are dark. We want to share some of those stories, because sometimes I think you only hear the negative things sometimes. And it's way easier to talk about negative things. Studies show it's a negative story is shared 3 times more than a positive one. And there are so many positive stories that we want to share about the life change that happens, about the things that happen in and outside of the classroom. So you're going to hear even more stories over the next 5 years of the life of Illiana. And the fourth thing is we want to get the parents in the community more involved about how we serve and love each other and how we're all in this together. You've seen that phrase a lot around in our world the last few months. We're in it together. And those are great phrases, but as you know, I sometimes get annoyed with phrases because we don't unpack what they really mean. And we're going to try and do that. Christian education has always been about a community rallying together to raise up young men and women in the gospel. So we're going to host events. We did one last year with our social media expert who came in, and it was very well received. We want to do a lot more of those with us, with our feeder schools, bringing people in to show maybe different tips on parenting, how to talk to your kids, maybe how to talk to your kids about faith, different things that are going on in our world. We want to bring the community together and do events that are going to help each other and help grow with each other. So it's not just us, it's the whole community together. So those are the 4 things where we're going to help really try and encourage each and every day to love each other. I think that's what we're called to do. Next week, we will talk about education and how we're going to be impactful in the world. And I look forward to being with you next week.